That's the brush. What are you doing?
Wake up. Your turn.
Oh, I'm good. I already did mine. Okay. Only on the eyebrows. Only on the eyebrows. That doesn't go in your nose.
I like it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you wearing my glasses? And my makeup? She's like a little mini. Like, she just follows me everywhere. Does everything I do, huh? Who are you?
I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher?
Uh-huh.
I actually just finished getting ready. All of the kids are not feeling 100%. I think they all just came down with like a little cold. Luckily, I feel fine. I've been taking Zicam like every 3 hours. So if you hear a lot of whining in the video background or whatever it is today, it's probably just because they're all not feeling 100%. And when the boys get sick, specifically, and Emma, honestly, all three of them, they get very, very cranky. Like I said, it's just a cold. They just have a runny nose. That's about it. But I think I'm gonna go out in a couple minutes and I'm gonna go to the store and grab some paper plates and some sort of like craft supplies and do something with Emma at home, since we're obviously not gonna be going out for a couple days until they're all better. She gets cabin fever really quick and really easily, so I think I'll do some sort of like Halloween craft with her. Okay, so I saw these on Instagram. Someone I follow, Mama Jots, made these cute little witch hats. So we decided that that was the Halloween craft we wanted to do. So we're gonna paint them black and pink were our colors. And then we're gonna add like some stars and ribbons. I don't know, we'll make it cute. Maybe we'll hang them up for Halloween time.
All done.
Okay, Justin's at a work thing this afternoon and I got all the kids down for their naps. Emma finished her witch hat a little bit, but we still gotta add like the stars and make it fun. I'll show you guys maybe on Instagram stories. But I wanna talk to you guys about something. I've been thinking about talking about it, but I wanted to wait like a number of weeks before talking about it and really get like my head in, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just make sure that like what I'm saying was still valid a couple of weeks later, I guess. Like, give it time to settle. I talked about this, I wanna say it was like 2 months ago on YouTube. I was talking about how I've just been feeling off. I decided to go to a doctor and I didn't end up running blood work. That's the next plan. But I ended up talking to a doctor about my anxiety because the last 2 months it got to a point where I didn't talk about this, but when we went to Disneyland for Emma, like back in June with Emma, I thought it was for her birthday, but it was not. It was back in June. My anxiety crept up on me so bad, which I have always struggled with anxiety like my entire life. Like, talking to my mom as an adult now and looking back at behaviors of things I did as a kid, I think I had anxiety when I was a child and I just didn't know that that's what it was. And until I got married to Justin, who is the complete opposite of an anxious person, I envy him for it, is when I started to realize that certain things that I would get anxious about or ways that I would feel were not like normal, and how I would get in like these terrible attacks about the smallest things that like at my, like, again, I thought was a normal reaction to seeing how Justin handled things was not normal. So backtrack, I'm sorry. When we went to Disneyland, I realized how bad it had gotten since I think probably giving birth to the twins. I remember driving up to the park and it was so bad, and it was taking away from the experience of getting to enjoy Disneyland with my family, which obviously Disneyland is literally like the happiest place on earth. It is supposed to be the place where you are filled with joy, and instead I was having an anxiety like attack for no real like valid reason. It was so bad driving up to the park. Thankfully, I felt better by the time we got out of the car. I don't even know where it came from. Like, that's how bad it had gotten. And that day I looked at Justin and I was like, I need to talk to somebody, because this is getting to the point where like it's impeding with my ability to enjoy going to Disneyland with my family, and I don't want that for me for the rest of my life. So we agreed, and he was totally on board, obviously. So about 2 months ago, I got in with a doctor, and I just wanted to say, I think there's a huge stigma still around mental health. A lot of people have talked about mental health more now than they ever have, which I'm so appreciative of, because again, I wouldn't have realized how bad my anxiety had gotten unless people were having conversations about it. But it had gotten like really bad. And if people weren't talking about it, then I maybe wouldn't have noticed like how bad it had gotten. But there's a stigma around mental health in general. And so the idea of, you know, going to get help kind of scared me. I've been through counseling a lot. I'm actually still in counseling. I don't think I've talked about that either, but I've been in counseling this whole year and it has been super helpful, but I knew that I needed something more because it was getting just enough where I knew I needed something more. So about 2 months ago, I went into the doctor, talked about everything that was going on, how long it's been going on, to what extent, all of that, and decided that night when I came home, I had some time to think about it, to start taking anti-anxiety medication, which for me was like a huge deal. I was very anxious about taking anxiety medication. There was an experience I had in the past where I was on a different type of medication that didn't make me feel great, and I was feeling very worried about taking it. I had a rough go the first 2 weeks on the new medication. It just made me incredibly nauseous. I constantly thought I was pregnant that whole 2 weeks because I felt like I was like super nauseous, couldn't eat. I actually lost a couple pounds. And then after 2 weeks, it just went away. And now I feel completely normal as far as like my appetite and nausea goes again, which is a huge relief. And I knew that that was gonna be like expected. The doctor had talked to me about that. So it wasn't like something that I didn't know was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen possibly, but it was pretty bad. And then after those 2 weeks, between weeks 4 and 6, I think is when I started to notice like a change in the way that I processed things when I was stressed out. Normally, I don't know how to describe it other than I have always described it to Justin as an elephant sitting on my chest or my throat right here. My heart literally races when I get anxiety, but it would feel like something was pushing on my chest and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get words out. And so I would just cry, or I would need to take those really deep breaths that you tell your toddler to take when they're having a meltdown, like in through your nose, out through your mouth for a while. And nothing that anybody really would say would be able to help at that moment. Ever since I wanna say between weeks 4 and 6 of being on anti-anxiety medication, I just can tell that the way that I process when things happen is so much healthier for me. I'm gonna cry because it's just something that I'm not gonna cry. I didn't know, like I said, until I married Justin, was not a normal way to respond when being like nervous or anxious or whatever it was. I just attributed it to everyone goes through this. And after talking to the doctor and getting on the medication, I just wanted to share with you guys because I was considering not talking about this, but I decided to share with you guys because I just thought maybe one of you even might be going through the same thing. My mom told me, like I said, that there have been things that I have been dealing with like this since I was young, anxious like habits and stuff. And I wish that I had been able to have someone talk to me earlier and be like, hey, it's okay if you need to like go and talk to somebody and get some help with it, because I feel like I'm seeing life in a different lens right now. I don't know if you've noticed recently, but in my videos, I'm happier because I'm not constantly feeling like I'm on the edge of having a breakdown or feeling nervous. I'm going out of my comfort zone to do things that normally I would immediately shut down the idea of doing them because it would scare me too bad. The main reason I wanted to talk about this today was because I didn't want to talk about it. And then I was watching another person on YouTube who decided to open up about their journey with it and be very transparent about it and how it changed their life. And it was what made me look at Justin and be like, if they can do it, so can I. And like, it can't be that scary because they've said that their life has been changed. And not to sound dramatic, but like, I feel like my life has been changed. That was a lot to talk about. I feel like that was just like the main reason I wanted to film today. I just felt like the push on my heart to share. A couple weeks ago, if you had asked me if I could share about it, I probably would have said no, because I'm sure that there have been comments in the past about, you know, medication, you shouldn't be on medication, you shouldn't do this, you should do this, the reason you're anxious is because you're not doing this, whatever it is. But my life was really changed when I decided to do this, and part of the reason why was because of other people talking about it. And I just want to share a little bit about my story. It's been about 8 weeks that I have been on Prozac, and I feel, like I said, like a different person. I feel so much better. I feel like I can handle situations better, and I know that it's not something that I might not need to be on it for the rest of my life, but for the moment it's given me a lot of freedom from things that have held me back, like for my entire life. And if I knew that I could feel better and feel more like myself, then I was worried about feeling different on medication, then I probably would have gone into a doctor so much sooner. So I really wanted to share with you guys, because if you've been noticing a difference in my videos or how I've been talking or whatever it might be, just wanted to share why and not keep this to myself when it could possibly, even potentially help one other person to make the decision to go talk to a doctor and see if they need help, just see if they need it. Also push for counseling. Counseling, I've been through multiple different counselors in my life, starting at a young age all the way up until I'm still going. And again, has been like the best thing I've ever done. Anyways, I have to go wake up the kids from their nap. I'm honestly gonna just probably end this video here for the day. I just really felt the push on my heart to share with you guys today kind of where I've been at and an update on like my life and what's been going on and why things have been a little bit different with me recently. So thank you guys so much for watching, and will you do me a favor, if you guys have gone through something like what I've described, currently are going through it, whatever it might be, go down to the comment section and just leave your story or anything you want to share, or leave it as like an open community area in the comment section for you guys to communicate with each other, with me, whatever it might be, to have a place to talk about this, because I know that a lot of people might not have a place to talk about this. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll talk to you again soon.